Welcome back, Brother Malak.
Right on.
All right, you ready for the question?
What's the
How
question?
does your belief system approach the concept of morality and ethics?
Yeah, yeah. So morality and ethics, I think they one and the same. Um, they work interchangeably, right? So morality is oftentimes described in a way where you gain some type of awareness about what people call good and bad, right? But as we explore that concept a little bit more, it really just comes to a point of understanding the spectrum of analysis. Like, okay, well, this works, this doesn't work, right? Um, Ethically, right, based on what you gain from that experience, your conduct or your behavior, um, it either trends towards more of the positive side or it trends more towards the negative side. Until you get to a point where you're balanced. So taking what we learn, what we share, and what we've experienced in the fourth principle is really just extracting that measure of understanding, right? And applying what we've learned, right? To better understand where we land on the spectrum of what people call good and bad, which is really just one experience, right? Uh the conduct is neutral until you start feeling the essence of what's going on, right? So either it's going to feel balanced to you or it's not going to feel balanced to you. Either you can think clearly or you can't think clearly, right? Either you can progress or you don't progress, right? Those are the sureties that you can glean from, right? As you walking through what we call an experience. You're gonna tell yourself that. So in other words, this works for me. This doesn't work for me. So engaging in frivolous banter, either it works for you or it doesn't, right? Either you can handle confrontation or you cannot.
Got it.
So, how has your spiritual belief system influenced your life and personal values?
I mean, tremendously. I mean that. I mean, you want quantification?
We do.
All right, say the question again, please, ma'am.
How has your spiritual belief system influenced your life and personal values?
Um, I've gained a tremendous amount of influence from what I hold as I'm gonna say my trust system. Uh, I'm gaining an awareness to trust myself more. Um, I'm gaining more of an awareness to value my own opinion because it was God given. Understanding that there is no separation in that relationship. I value the trust that's there. Um, it's it's helped and it's continuing to help structure how I perceive things inwardly. And because of it, my life is trending to become more balanced. Um, I mean, if you'd have known me like in my early 20s, I probably was a little off center back then. Very, very, very emotional. Um, just imbalanced in how I perceive things around me, right? But taking into consideration where I'm at now and what I've gained from my trust system, and having these brothers in my life and stuff like that. As my aunt used to say back in the day, you don't gotta sweat the small stuff as best as possible. I try to work on that one a lot, right? Because it really is small stuff. But it's available for you to make it big stuff if that's what you wants to do.
Facts.
But yeah, I mean, and I'm grateful, right, that I've stepped outside the box to gain perception. Because I'm sharing, right. I have been someone who wasn't really interested in seeing the other side of things. And when you deal with balance, right, seeing the other side of things is discernment. It's getting between the matters, right? And circling back to this idea of the question, the elements, the core elements that I've gained here, right, it's helped me with discernment because it has taught me that in order for me to obtain a certain level of discernment, I have to be available to the communication within my soul. So like you can be going just 100 miles an hour, right, and be completely detached from the inner communication because like stuff is just happening. We become
An automaton, like a robot.
yeah, and you process information through the limited ability of the senses, the sensory world. It's not a full spectrum. It's limited. It doesn't go the extra mile, if you will, but the soul does because the soul always knows. So I've learned, right, we kind of build upon all these principles that we've talked about, right? You got to be available to those terms of awareness within. So in doing that, it's helped me a lot, and it continues to help me.
So, with all that you've gained, you specifically touched on perception and discernment, and you started the conversation talking about how you were in your early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Have you used these things that you've gained to then go back and revisit or repair any of those relationships that may have possibly been damaged?
To the best of my ability, I did. Yeah, I mean, as best as I could, I did try to do that. And even in that, it took some awareness on my part to understand that everybody is where they at. And when you go and you offer to make restitution, right? You're offering a gift, and once you give the gift up, they can do whatever they want to do with it. It's not up for you to it wasn't up for me to try to control the narrative, but I had to release myself from the shackles in that instance.
Shackles of guilt.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'll repeat the question
Yes, please.
just in case you missed it. Zokane, how has your spiritual belief system influenced your life and personal values?
Woo, man. Let me tell you, I'm with a dome. Is up there, especially now. and where I sit at is it has helped, and actually I think it even helps my household down to my people that's not even in my household. I think it helps because I'm not that guy that I can be. Sometimes I still let it out, something just to let them know, yo, don't play with me like that. You know what I mean? But I would say it helps a lot, and I would say that knowing that you can be anything you want to be, that helps me. That should help anybody. You can be. Don't let people tell you you can't be anything. Nothing. You can be whatever you put your mind to be. And you know, years back in the '80s, they used to say these things. I won't listen. I did what I wanted. I would do what I want to do. I'm not listening to these people that say, "Bro, you could be the president of the United States if you want to." I won't hear it. I'm like, "Bro, stop." No, you can't be that. Yes, you can. If you put your mind to it, you can be that. You can do anything you want. It's just a matter of if you want to do it or not. If you're going to put in the dedication, the time, the sacrifice, if you want to do these things or not. So when you're in that kind of a space, it helps your confidence. It puts a spirit within you to say nothing can stop me. Only you can stop yourself. That is it. You're the one. And I would say that's where all leads for me. You can do what you want. You can be whatever you want. You can move how you want. And I've seen it play out time and time and time again throughout my life. I would say this: nobody has stopped me from doing anything that I wanted to do. Nobody. The only person that stopped me from doing something was me. Nobody else got in my way.
Okay.
You know, some people would throw, well, the white man, he put this barrier in front of you and such. No, he ain't put nothing in front of me. Because I'm going to either go around it, go over top of it, go through it, or go under it. It doesn't matter. But it's up to me to break that barrier. He didn't stop me from doing anything. Nobody. I do what I want to do. And even in that space, nobody can tell me what I can't do and what I cannot do. It's only me. It's only you. This whole life revolves around you and you don't even know it. But you got to have the discernment
And awareness
and the awareness
and the
of
consciousness.
what's going on in here. These other people that's out here, you created everybody. I created my brothers. I created my sisters. I created them to be around me at this particular moment and this particular time. No, brother, the creator did. You're right. You're right. The creator did do that. Yeah. So that's who it be.
I recently read a quote that said confidence comes from being prepared. So, what would be your perspective that you would give to the people on what they should do to be prepared or break those barriers that you were talking about?
Be diligent in yourself. Know yourself. Know who you are. Know what you want. Know how you want to move. Don't worry about what other people say to you. Do not worry about who's there or whatever. You know, nobody. Trust me. Do not listen to these people. Listen to your inner being. Your inner being will tell you yes or no. And like you say, how you understand that point, and that's when you start to connect. You may be born with those abilities. Some people not. Some people, or let me say this, they're born with it. They may shut it down just to have that experience. To say, oh no, it was racism why I couldn't get ahead or why I didn't get that job. I'm black because, that's why the police shot me, because I was black. No, he shot you because you had a gun. For real. We can sit here and say all of this stuff that they want to say. No, you got shot because you got a gun. Now, not saying that some people don't get shot without guns. Not saying that. But what I am saying is, you are the experience that you want to be.